What's up, everyone? This is Tatum. I'm back with another episode of Fuck This Review. And today, I'm talking about an album that's probably one of the biggest selling albums of all time. That's partially the reason I wanted to review this album. I was like, damn, it's so many records. Let me go listen to it and see what it's about. So, today, I'm going to be reviewing Eagles, Hotel California. Going into this review, I didn't know much about the Eagles or this album. I obviously knew the song Hotel California, but that was pretty much it. So I'm going into this and went into this with an open mind, and this is the first time I'm hearing the Eagles of anything. So this was a pretty cool experience. The album itself came out in 1976. It's their 5th studio album. I read somewhere that they had some new members for this album. This album was like the last album for a couple members as well. But again, I was very surprised by what I heard from this album, so I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'm just going to go straight into the review. It's 9 songs on here, so it's not that bad, but I'm going to go through the songs, tell you what I like, didn't like, and that's it. Let's get into it. But the album starts with Hotel California, and it's rare for me, at least from, just my knowledge of music, whatever that may be, to hear an album start with one of the biggest records of all time. That's very rare that they started the album with one of the best songs of all time in Hotel California. And, doing a little research on the album and, getting a little backstory on why they called it that, and even the album cover of the Beverly Hills Hotel. I think it was a dope way to start the album as far as concept-wise. It would have to start there, you know what I mean? Because Henley, he said, quote, the song's about a journey from innocence to experience. And, a lot of people come to California with that in mind. And, it ends up changing them for better or for worse. It's addictive. It's just something here that's like Truman Show-like in a way. California is a perfect place for that story. So, as far as the song itself, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it always gave me reggae vibes when I listened to it. One of my favorite lines from the record, and I love that solo on there at the end. That's probably a classic solo at the end of the record, but one of my favorite lines from the record was towards the end. It was like, relax, said the night man, we are programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. And that's pretty much it, especially going into this album of the topics that they did discuss on here, that I'll get into later with the other records. It's just a perfect opening track. It's just crazy that, that's their biggest song, one of the biggest songs ever. But great way to open the album. I like, it was perfect. That leads into New Kid in Town. And when I first heard this record, I was like, is this a country record? And then I took it back, and then I kept listening to it over and over again, and I was like, oh, wow, this is a great record about fear of someone taking your spot, and that could be in life, or in their case, I believe, just as a rock band, there's always someone new coming up. Like a musician's lifespan is not that long for a lot of them. You get that hot moment where you're really hot, and then, it's always somebody else. They'll love you, then they hate you, then they love you again kind of mentality. And I think this song was a perfect representation of that. Just to continue the story from Hotel California and to go into this one, like even looking at it from like a work environment, like it's always some younger person coming up in the rankings that's wants the spot that you have or wants to pass you, and you always got that chip on your shoulder kind of feel. So I thought New Kid in Town was really good. It's such a great laid back track, especially coming after how for lack of better words, dramatic the opening track was, to smooth it down a bit and kind of bring it back to reality in a way. Music wise, I thought that was a good cohesiveness between the two. That leads into Life in the Fast Lane, and that song's kind of it's just rock and roll to me. That's all I'm gonna say. Like it's a really good record. That opening riff, that opening riff is like pretty dope. It caught my attention immediately as soon as it came on. Besides, the actual story in the song with the couple going on this, like, living this fast life and in this fast lane, just riding high, burning out fast kind of thing. Glenn Frey said the title came to him one day. He was like in a car with like his drug dealer and was speeding it crazy. He's like, you need to slow down. He's like, this is life in the fast lane or something like that. I thought that was a funny origin story of just the origin story of the song. I thought that was pretty cool. That goes into Wasted Time, and that's just, I really enjoyed this record. Wasted Time was the first record on the album that actually like made me, for lack of better words, just stop, and it like caught me. Like, I don't know, I really liked that record, just from the production standpoint. The vocal performance on there was great. It's nothing like I could say bad about that record, and you know, the story itself, and you know, Wasting Time, and it's a great breakup record. It's a great love record. It was just a good all-around record. Like, I can't say anything about it. I really enjoyed that record. It was cool. I read that, you know, some of the inspiration for this record was the Philly soul sound back in the day. So I thought that was pretty cool, and was reading how, you know, they got music sheets of some of the Philly sounded music just to get inspired by it and kind of learn it in a way and see what makes it tick. So I thought that was pretty good, and it's a beautiful record. Like, just from a production standpoint, it's a really, really well done record. Some of the lyrics on here are really, really like well thought out lyrics. Like, again, I'm sorry, this is my first Eagles record, so forgive me of my ignorance, but the lyrics on here are really, really good. And that breakdown at 148, I think it's after the first verse, crazy. And it's another one like break up kind of thing at 327, which is also great. Victim of Love, it was great. I read that when they recorded the song, it was recorded live, and the only overdub was vocals on this record. So, and it's very live, like you can hear it. You can hear that in the record. I thought that was pretty cool as well. A funny story, one of the band members was promised to sing, I guess, 2 records or so, some records on the album. This was going to be one of them, and it didn't. His take just didn't turn out as well as they wanted it to be. So the manager took him for lunch while the other band members sung it and the right way, and I just thought that was a funny crazy story, the backstory to this song. One of the lines that stood out to me in the record was, this ain't no time to be cool. Tell your girlfriends you've been around the world, friends. The talk is for losers and fools. I thought just that line of tell your girlfriends you've been around the world, friends, that's just like a cool bar for me. But it's a very, with all that being said, how good the song is, and I like that bar, it's very dirty macking. Like, why you dirty macking so much, man? Get off the... Why you in a relationship? Sorry, I had to be petty for a second. Why you dirty macking, man? And this record also reminds me that rock and roll feel has that thumping feel that it's... I just love the vibe to this record. It also had a great guitar solo as well, so that was like the icing on the cake. The next record is Pretty Maids in a Row, and probably one of my favorites as well. I love this song, flat out. From the moment I heard it, great production, again, great vocal performance, and it's really just a good song, man. Like, it's just a good record. Just the story of like the 2 friends running into each other, or 2 ex-lovers running into each other, and the whole song being just that dialogue conversation. I thought that was pretty creative as well. And it's just like these thumping, heart-catching pianos that's on there. It was just really, really good. Really, really good. Then that leads into Try Love Again. And that song caught me immediately as well, just because that opening riff at the beginning, that riff just caught me immediately. Again, the production on this album is really freaking solid. Like, I like I guess if it was a vinyl, I like side B more than side A, even though side A has Hotel California. But I really liked... I didn't even mention the Wasted Time reprise. Sorry about that. But I love the vocal performance on here. It really stood out to me. And the song is just amazing. One of the lines that stood out to me, right or wrong, what's done is done. It's only the moments that we borrow. But the thoughts will linger on of the lady in her song when the sun comes out tomorrow. Well, it might take years to see through all these tears. Don't let go. When you find it, you'll know. I was like, wow, that's pretty good lyrics. That's... yeah, just that whole idea of like being vulnerable after a breakup, and you know, if you know how hard that could be, and building up that courage and that fear all mixed in, and just jumping out there and trying to love again. I thought that was a pretty cool subject to talk about. So kudos for that song. And then we end with The Last Resort. This song is kind of deep, and it's 8 verses on here for one. And, you could take it as, people destroy everything. Like, people are the worst animals ever. Like, people take land, they strip people of food, they strip families, they gentrify. It's a lot of things that happen, just people and, the evil things we do. We destroy the planet literally every day. So I thought this song was a good representation of that. And speaking of California and how I think about weeds, little boxes on a hill. I think about that if you ever seen Weeds before. This song made me think of that, Ticky Tackies. It's a part at 320 that's pretty dope. That piano breakdown. But for me, I think the song was a bit too long for. It was the message was being punched down your face after a while. It's okay, I get it. It could have been summed up in 4 verses. 8 verses is kind of long, and I get it though. Get the message out, but song was probably a little bit too long for me. Let's get into best songs. Wasted Time, Victim of Love, and Pretty Maids all in a row. Worst song, I'm gonna go with Life in the Fast Lane. Best line, hey there, how are you? It's been a long time. It seems like we come a long way, but my, how we learn so slow. The heroes, they come and they go and leave us as if we were supposed to know. And I thought, wow, I never thought about that. Yeah, they do. That line just stood out to me. As far as review fucks given for this record, I'm going to give it, out of 5, I'll give it a 4. I give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed the production. Now let's wrap this shit up. In closing, when it comes to Eagles, Hotel California, I enjoyed it. I really did. For my first experience listening to any Eagles music, it was a good eye-opener. I would go down the rabbit hole now, so let me know in the comments what's another album I should listen to by the Eagles and maybe do a review on it. I really enjoyed the production on this album. I love the subject matter. I love the vocal performances on here as well. It's really good. It's a really good album. I enjoyed it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know what some of your favorite songs on the album, with some Eagles Easter eggs I should know about the album that I missed in here. And yeah, let's just chop it up in the comments. As always though, fuck this review. I'm Tatum. Peace.